Hey everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be wrapping up the 20 in 2020 project pan. The first one that I ever tried to do, other than the 5 by Frosty that I did with Lauren Smith here on YouTube, and it did not go so well. So no big surprise. I picked a lot of eyeshadows, of course not knowing how this year, like everybody else, was going to pan out. So unfortunately, I failed. It's so bad. So I did the very best that I could. If you watch any of the monthly makeup baskets, you know that I kept all of my project pan items in my caboodle, so that way I was constantly working on them. But even doing that, I felt like I still could not get as much use out of the products as I normally would, because I just wasn't really wearing makeup like a lot of other people. So I do eye makeup every day I go to work, and days that I'm off where I know I'm going to be filming, then I usually do makeup. But for the most part, if I'm home or just kind of hanging around the house, I usually don't put on a full face. So I don't know how many of us do, but yeah, so that's probably why I wasn't as successful as I could have been. I'm hoping. This new one that's going to be coming up, I should be filming that next. It's going to be my 2021 project pan. That is a little different, and I set it up very differently, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. But let's just go through all of the products that I was working on throughout this past year. I'm going to go in the order of how I was doing them before, and of course I will have pictures of progress from when I started to where it is now on the day of its termination. So, and if you know me, you know I'm not going to get rid of any of these things. I'm going to continue trying to use them up because I cannot waste things for the life of me. So I'm going to continue working on them, but it will definitely not be in this next project because I just can't keep torturing myself with the same products over and over again. So anyhow, Smashbox Double Exposure Palette was the first thing. This is the oldest palette that I have in my collection. So I was working on these two shades right here on the bottom. My little heart that was on this one fell off, but it has some really weird hard pan in it, and I had to kind of scrape it off once, and I still can get some color out of it. It's not overly pigmented, so I tend to go for this on days that I go to work because I can't wear obviously crazy eyeshadow when I'm working, but I did get some good use out of it. There are some little dips in there, and I love this black, so I usually do this as an eyeliner. I did get a lot of use out of that, even though it looks like it did not move at all. And this as well, this brown shade, or these two brown shades as well, I usually will kind of just put them into the crease if I'm trying to do something really quick and just kind of buff it out. And yeah, so unfortunately didn't get as much use out of those two as I would have liked, but I did get some good progress. The next thing I had was this Nyx Los Angeles palette that I picked up from Kohl's a long time ago, and again I had a little heart here marking that, so you will see some progress on here. It's a little bright from the lighting, but you will see some more progress on there. This is a really pretty highlighter. It doesn't have a shade, unfortunately, because it was just part of this palette, so I had ripped this up, but this was a blush that I used as a bronzer, and then this was the highlighter that was ready to go. So, and I do go to this shade a lot here too, just as like a brow bone highlight if I need something, if I'm working with this highlighter. But again, not something that I was able to finish, so that will definitely get more use, but not coming up anytime soon. The next thing I have is this Motivate Body Mist that I got from Primark. I have a bunch of these and just trying to use them up. This was a ginger and lemon oil scent. It doesn't have really a strong scent at all. I was just kind of trying to get it out of my collection. So when I started it, we started here, and I was able to finish this one. So I usually just keep these kind of things where I'm trying to work on them in the bathroom, on the sink, and then before I leave to go out the house, I just kind of spray to try to get use out of this. But I was able to finish this one, which I was really excited about, as well as this Pink Neon Coast Ginger Lily and Crushed Leaves body spray. This was just a little small guy that I got from a semi-annual sale quite a while ago, and I actually really love the scent of this. When I started it, I was here and this smells really good. It's a perfect fall scent. And if I can find this again, then I definitely will pick this up because it matches perfectly well with the In the Stars body lotion from Bath & Body Works, and I love that scent. So this one I really love and I will miss it, but I'm glad that I was able to finish it. And the next thing I have is this pink beach hair wave spray, and this was another item I picked up from that semi-annual sale at the same time, and it's actually a really decent wave spray from Pink, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I tried to use this a lot in the summertime and just kind of scrunch my hair when it was still kind of damp, and it did a really good job. I started at 210 grams and I ended at 160. So again, it's not quite finished and you can't really see where it's at, but I think it's about, well, you can when it's moving, but it's kind of like right here. So I will definitely finish that up. The next thing I have is the Tarte Timeless, or the Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer, and I really do enjoy this primer. This was just a smaller kind of little trial size, but it took a while to go through because this primer, you only need the tiniest little bit of it, and I was actually able to finish this, and I just used the last of this today. So I was really excited to be able to finish this, and I do really like this, so I may pick this up again just to have it in the collection, but I would probably stick to a smaller size again because it just takes a really long time to go through. So I was able to finish that. The next item I have was kind of silly, but I was able to finish half of it, and it was this Basic Instinct sex attractant that was from one of those little home parties, pure romance parties. And when I started it, I had barely used it. It was up at the top here, and I did not mark it, but we are here now. So halfway I was able to get through it, and then I'll show you the picture. But this is just like an oil and doesn't have a scent to it. It's supposed to kind of work with your pheromones to attract the opposite sex, but I'm not trying to do that, so I was just trying to use this to get this away out of my collection. The next item I have is the Sleek Copper Plate Highlighting Palette. This was the deeper of the two that they have. I was working on this shade right here. This is actually very pretty. I don't know if you're going to be able to see how much use I got out of it, but this is packed in there so deep that I feel like it's going to take forever to actually get through this whole thing, let alone one shade. So this was something I would use as an eye topper or just kind of throw it all over the lid, and because I can't use it as an actual highlighter because it's too deep for me, but I really do think this is gorgeous, and I still want to pick up the lighter of the two, but I just am trying to at least finish one of these. So that was the progress for that one. And the next thing I have is the L'Oreal Because I'm Worth It palette. So this is a very old one, and this was also something I've had in my collection for a really long time. And again, this was just something really easy for me to throw on. I don't remember if I had both of these that were in here when I first started it, but this is actually almost gone, and this one has like barely no color to it, so it's kind of hard to use it. It's just like something extra to throw on. But I was able to finish completely these two, and this one, like I said, it's kind of almost, it has to hit pan like any day now. But yeah, so not finished quite yet, but that one will definitely get more attention no, not very soon, but in the future. I just found a dandelion. Can you see that? In my makeup basket. How in the world did that get in there? Make a wish. Okay, Ulta. This was the next product. So this was a Apricot Blush Yellow Diamond Highlighter. It was kind of split pan when I first started it. I finished the highlighter a long time ago, and then I had the blush left over. It's a really pretty, it kind of reminds me of the Milani Luminoso blush. It has that kind of like really pretty look to it, but in a similar shade as well. But I repressed it actually twice now to try to get more use out of it, and I've used this as an eyeshadow and as a blush, and it's really pretty, but it's just taking me so long to get through it. But again, you can see the difference in from when I first started it, how much use I was actually able to get out of it. But that one unfortunately did not finish. And you're going to see a pattern. I think the rest of the stuff as I was able to not finish it, but you'll see the progress of each thing. The next thing I have is the Sephora Midnight Hour eyeshadow palette, and super pretty packaging. This was given to me as a gift from my sister years ago because of the packaging, because it's kind of like fairy tale-esque, and she knows I love that stuff. I was working on this lighter white, kind of white, almost has like a little bit of a silvery shade to it. I was using this as a highlighter. Actually, it's very pretty, and then also as an inner corner highlight, but I really didn't get much use out of it other than that. So this is something that I would probably keep it in my collection just based on the packaging, because again, it's kind of like a little collector's piece, but I was able to get more use out of that, which was kind of the goal. And then the next thing I have is this spring palette that I got from Ulta free with like gift with purchase years ago. And I was actually able to almost get there. I got every single shade except for this Moonbeam, and it's really hard to see that, you know, how much is left there. This is all gone. It's just whatever's on the actual pan. But this is like a really pretty bluish, silvery white kind of shift, and it's just taking so long to get through it, even though it's really pretty. And I would put this on the lid, and then I did use this as an inner corner highlight, and really pretty, but it's just so much product in these little tiny pans that it's taking forever. But I almost got through this whole thing, so I'm sure I will be able to finish that within the next couple months, and I am going to work on that one just because I know that it's like right there. The next thing I have is it's called K-Pop Bubble Blush Cushion Blusher in the Pastel Pink from Primark. And this is just a little blush that comes with a little poof, and it has the little sponge in there with the product. It is a bubblegum pink, but it actually looks really pretty when you sheer it out on the cheeks. The last time I went to use this, it was getting to the point where I really had to kind of like squish the little brush down in there because the top part of it was drying out. So I'm hoping that's a good sign. But this, I started at 60 grams and it's at 55 now. So only 5 grams, but I feel like I did get quite a bit of good use out of this because it is kind of drying up on the top layer of that. So that's a good sign. And then the next thing I have is the Joa What a Matte Liquid Lipstick, and this started at 30 grams and we are still at 30 grams because I'm not a fan of this. It is the prettiest shade ever. I've talked about this many times before. It's in the shade, I believe, Roseberry, and it's just so drying on the lips and it cracks, and it's just, you have to kind of really work with it. So I will use it, but I'm not trying to like, I don't know, I kind of gave up on it a little bit, to be honest, because it's just such a pain to kind of work with, and it's such a pretty color that I love it so much, but it's just not something that for me is easy to kind of work with. So for that reason, I am just really anxious to get this out, but unfortunately was not able to finish it. The next thing I have is the e.l.f. Lip Balm Tint, and if you heard me talk about this one is like, it needed to go quite a long time ago. So it doesn't smell bad, but it doesn't taste good on the lips. It's supposed to be grapefruit. So I said in the last update I was really going to focus on this, and I think I maybe used it once. It's just I have so many other things that I'm trying to work on too that this kind of took a back seat. And it started at 15 grams and we're still there. So I will continue to work on this one, but not quite there yet. We have a couple more products to go and then we will be all done. The next thing I have is the Out of Africa Shea Butter Vanilla Scent, and this is really, really good stuff, but it takes forever to get through. So of course it's like a solid, and then you just use a little bit and use it as a moisturizer. You can use it for a lot of different things. I was using it as a cuticle cream, and then I also found another use for this, and if you can see, I kind of dug there because what I did was, I'll show you in a future video, I had a Tarte lipstick that I was almost finished with, and I finished it to the top of where the plastic is, but there was there was like this much product left underneath. So I took my beauty spatula and I dug it out and I put it into a little jar, and then I mixed it with this, and it kind of made like this perfect lip balm, and it works really, really well. So that is why I dig that out. So we started at 55, we're at 50 now. I was able to use up 5 grams of it, but this stuff is just, it takes so long to get through that you will see some progress on the pictures, but it's going to take a long time to get through that product in general. Then we have 2 lippies. The first one is the Essence Kiss the Frog lipstick. This one and the next one, unfortunately, I did not get any use out of again because I was using other things. But this is just a really cute little lip balm or lipstick that they have through Essence, and we still have quite a bit of product left. It's green, but it kind of changes to like a purpley, it's really kind of probably hard to see, but just like a purplish shade, and just kind of something easy to throw on the lips and go. I have quite a few of these to get through, but that one I will work on once I get through the few that I'm working on now. And then the last lipstick I have is the Rimmel Oxford Street Fuchsia. It's just a really pretty pink shade, and was not able to get any use out of this one, but again, it's super pink, so right here, and we'll probably try to go through this a little bit more in the springtime. But yeah, so, and then the last 2 things I have were polishes. So the first one I have is the Essie Deli Dance, and this is just a really pretty pink shade, perfect for the spring and the summer. And I actually added, probably really dumb, but added some eye drops to this just to kind of thin it out, because I wasn't able to get like a full application with what was left in here. And the last time I measured it, it was about here, but it was really, really hard to get anything out. So I kind of tried to thin it out a little bit, and then it actually feels like it added more, obviously, weight to it. So I have not used it since I did that, and I'm curious to see how many more uses I can actually get out of this, but I haven't really been painting my nails lately, so I didn't really use it. And then the last one is the OPI. I have a herring problem, and it's just like this really pretty green color, and I started it here, and it's hard to see where I'm at now, but I think I'm about here, so a couple uses with this one, and it will still obviously stay in the collection until it is completely finished, or to the point where I can't get anything else out. So that is going to wrap it up. Again, I was not very happy with all of the stuff I was not able to finish. I was really hoping that I was going to be able to get through more products, but because of, like I said, the whole situation with how the year went, I know it's because I wasn't really using as much stuff as what I normally would. So I'm hopeful that this year might be a little different. And like I said, you'll see the changes in what I'm doing for next year, or this year now. It's January 1st today. So you'll be able to see what I have in store for this year. And I think that one is very ambitious also, but I'm pretty excited that I think I will actually be able to do or somewhat hit my goal. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and if you are doing a new project in 2021, make sure you leave that down below, because I would love to watch yours and come and check out your channel. And I hope everyone has a fabulous start to their new year. I will see you very soon in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.